We'd hate for you to have too much fun on this holiday weekend, so on the Business Courier front page, the tax issue. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, passed by Congress in December, is filled with complex changes to the nation's tax code and will dramatically affect how businesses operate. This week's centerpiece looks at how that legislation could impact your company. The first major legislation in 25 years to alter the U.S. tax system takes effect for the 2018 tax year, and it's rife with complex changes that will transform how businesses compete in the marketplace. Ohio U.S. Senator Rob Portman is one of the bill's major champions and predicts the legislation will eventually pay for itself through economic growth. But many economists scoff at the notion of tax cuts paying for themselves through increased economic activity, saying that has never happened in the history of modern economies. Business Courier reporter Chris Wederick wrote an overview of what the tax legislation means for both corporations and small businesses, and also looks at some of its lesser-known provisions. Chris needed to take a vacation after tackling that story. Not really. So his boss, Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer, joins Business Watch producer Kelly Leon in the studio to talk about what Chris found. Rob and Kelly.
Thanks, Peg. I'm glad Chris
he needed a big break after
got to decompress after this. It's a big story. I mean, there's a lot to take in. So why tackle it? Why did the Business Courier say we need to tackle?
Yeah, we finally had to give in. No, this was passed at the end of last year. Frankly, the IRS was still trying to wrap their arms around. This is a massive, as Peg said, 25 years since the last one of this size. So the IRS was still trying to figure a lot of it out. We were talking to accountants for the last couple months, and they were all still reading it and trying to figure it out. And so what we did this week is try to hit on 6 or 7 or 8 different areas. Obviously, it's not going to be an encyclopedic, but just some areas that we either thought were interesting or that maybe people would know about or just that are super dramatic.
So get into some of the specifics that you found. You specifically looked at some local businesses.
Right. So the biggest thing, and a lot of people already know this, but some don't, is that the tax rate for businesses, big corporations in this country, went down dramatically from the 30s to 21%. We had one of the highest business taxation rates in the world. Now, companies have been getting around that through loopholes and deductions, but that's way down, 21% permanently. Small businesses were not left out. Their taxes are going to drop too. The the income taxes on people, that's a temporary tax reduction for maybe me and you, I don't know, but that's going away. So, but the corporate cut is permanent, unless somebody votes it out, but who knows.
And you specifically looked at like the Bengals and the Reds.
Yeah, right.
What kind of impact are they looking at?
So a lot of the things we looked at were just about business expenses, and the Reds and the Bengals are going to be running into something here where you're not going to be able to deduct, corporations aren't going to be able to deduct luxury suites at nearly the same rate as they used to. So just entertainment in general, if you're in a business and you're entertaining clients, whether it's a dinner or whether it's a game at a suite, you're not going to be able to deduct that at the amount that you used to. So there's a fear that teams, not just the Reds and the Bengals, any pro team, is going to take a hit.
All right, so a massive undertaking in the Courier this week.
Yes,
written by Chris, edited by you. There's a little something for everyone, because I don't own the Reds or the Bengals, but I'm going to be impacted. So everybody should take a look at that piece. Lots in there. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks.